was with my husband. We got married 2012, so I was 34.
Yeah.
So I've started quite late. I had like long relationships before, good relationships, but none of them were like those type of relationships, thinking about having a family together. I met my husband and I had the feeling like, yeah, he's the one
to have kids
to have long family and a life together. But still, I mean, life came in this way that I had to first meet my husband.
Yeah.
And it was quite, let's say, quite late. So we had our first son when I was 36.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 34 when we got married, and on the honeymoon we decided to
conceive.
To start
thinking about it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And, to have a baby, and then we, honestly, when we got home from the honeymoon, we got like a positive pregnancy test.
Oh, right away. Okay.
Right away.
That's good. Yeah.
But it did not turn out that way.
Oh, okay. What happened?
It was around the 7th week. I went to the doctor, the first medical checkup, and it turned out it was, I don't know how to say it in English. I had the symptoms, but it was an empty
embryo.
Yeah, an empty sac.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of, how do you call it?
Maybe it was not like.
I mean, there was no heartbeat, so.
Okay.
But still, I had to go to the hospital because it wouldn't.
It had to be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And after that, it took like 1.5 years.
So what did you think? How did you feel when you had to go through that?
It was bad. It was because everyone was telling us that it's a good sign that when we decided to have kids, it actually happened. At least something happened. So it was a positive thing. But the negative thing was like, after that, we had to psychologically struggle a bit for 1.5 years. And I remember every cycle in every month when
you hope for it.
I hope for it, and then it doesn't turn out that way. It was disappointing. And I think there is this, it's difficult for couples, I guess, when it doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And when you have, if can I talk about this? It turns out with months passing.
Yeah, every single month you.
And the intimacy also changes to something maybe this time, and it's not the same as just having a
enjoying
sexual
but you have more goal involved now.
And probably that's why it took 1.5.
Okay, because you think there was a mental aspect to it.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. But then,
Did you? What about the doctors?
They said everything was okay. Everything is completely fine with me, with my husband, and it turned out that with my son that everything was okay. Mm-hmm. Even if in between the two kids we had an even more horrible experience, because after our son was born when I was 36, and let's say 2 years later I got pregnant again. It turned out on the 12th week. Okay. When we were already waiting to get the news if it's a boy or a girl, or because we made at that point, because I was already 38 or something, the doctor told me maybe it would be better to make this type of test, they do from my blood, they could make like a DNS whatever to me, and it turned out that that baby had like Patau syndrome. Okay. Which is a no-go. And
you had to make the decision.
Yeah, we had to make that decision. I mean, it was it was a logical decision. All the doctors told us. It's not a
And it was relatively
choice.
early.
Well, yes, but it was already still on the 13th week. But after that, I think 1 year later, my daughter conceived. So
how old were you?
Well, when she was born, I was 39.
When did the first signs of labor start?
Maybe two weeks earlier. I remember the day before we went to some friend's place to have like barbecue, and I ate lots of grilled meat and everything. And the next morning, it started. But it was, we went to, before that, we had some classes, like we went to
birth preparation classes.
Birth preparation class with a very nice girl. She was like a yoga teacher, and I went there like 10-15 sessions with a small group of girls. It was very good. And on the last time, my husband was there as well, so all the husbands were there. They're dead. They were there, and it was a very good because I didn't know what to expect, or I don't know. None of us have our mothers already, so they both died. So there was no let's say a woman figure who could help you in all the advise you and all these. Friday morning, I don't know, when my husband went to work, and then I had to call him like 2 hours later to, maybe you should come home.
How did you know?
I felt a bit of contractions, and my water did not break like in the movies. It was just leaking. But I was coming down the stairs, and I was like, oh, what's this? Oh God, maybe this is it. So he came home half hour later or 1 hour later, and we went to the hospital. The hospital is quite close. You can see it almost from the window. I mean, it's
which one?
It's there is a chimney, a long chimney. It's over there.
Yeah, that's very close.
So we went there, and they told us that maybe we can come home because we live so close, and everything is fine, but maybe we
go back home and wait.
Because they said like it's okay, but still I should come home when I have like what they said, like 5 minutes contractions.
The interval between contractions, 5 minutes. Okay, because it was your first time, maybe that's why. I had it. I mean, because on the birth preparation they told us if your water breaks, and after that it's better to go in. So I'm not the type of home birth kind of a girl. I don't have a problem with hospitals if it's if they know what to do. So we were not preparing for staying home quite long. So we went anyway. We were here, but I was not feeling bad or anything. When the contractions came, of course I was like a bit anxious as well, and I was like, both of us were very excited, but not scared.
No, we're not really scared. No, I don't think so. And then we went back around, I don't know, 1 p.m. and then they already kept me in the
because already it was shorter.
It was shorter. They were like already 5 minutes or 2 minutes or I don't know.
And then what did you do at the hospital?
Well, normal checkups. They asked me when I ate last time and things like that, and they said that everything is going quite well. Because I opened up.
Dilated.
Completely.
Oh, okay.
They said.
Really? How?
Or quite a lot. No, but not at that time. Later on.
Okay.
But they said that the signs are very good, and probably there will be a baby in 2 or 3 hours, and that did not happen.
Okay.
And then they gave me oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Okay, so to accelerate the process.
Yes.
What did they explain? Why?
We got to a moment where the baby was not moving forward anymore.
Okay, so
at the end.
So you already dilated.
Yeah, they told me.
Your water broke like completely?
Yeah, no, not completely. That's why the doctor...
Did they break it for you?
Well, yeah.
Did it help?
It seemed probably yes, but then still...
Okay,
even around 8 o'clock at night, they told me... I think that was the first time saying that probably it's because of the skeleton, right? I mean the bony part that it does not come out, or I don't know. So they told our doctor, who is my doctor, he's been my doctor for 15 years, so I believe him, right? So he said like it could be better maybe to go to C-section.
Oh, wait, oxytocin didn't help?
Well, didn't help much. I was in pain, but the baby was not moving forward. And then 1 hour later told us, the doctor came again, like it's still the same thing. We asked for some more time.
So you were able to... How were the contractions? Were you still having contractions, regular contractions at that point?
Yeah.
How at that point probably every 1 minute, every 2 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And you were still able rationally think and decide.
Yeah. Yes. And then when he came in for the third time, I was already tired.
Okay.
It was already... I don't know, 11 at night. And then that was the point when I told my husband, okay, we are not asking for more time, because I think it's not going to happen the way
we want. Expected.
But I was completely okay with it. And I think my husband, he just wanted me to be okay. That's why he always told me, like, you can ask for some more time if you want to.
Yeah.
But then... And then I got a C-section.
What was it like?
I remember I was already tired.
So you didn't care?
And I was like, okay. For me, the important thing is healthy baby and nothing more. And he will be here in 20 minutes and it will be great. And I remember with her as well, because with her it was program C-section. At least at the beginning they told us, because if she's smaller maybe I can try again, like with normal birth. But you know, the hospital that my doctor works in, it's not a very liberal kind of hospital, right?
Okay, what does that mean?
That means it's there are a few hospitals here in Budapest where they are more open to let you,
more like a holistic.
Yeah, and if you are after a C-section, you could have it, but not in this one.
Oh.
And I knew that it was not the place for that. Just like that was the thing where I felt a bit strange with my doctor, that at the beginning, the first 10 months, not the first 10 weeks or 15 weeks, he was telling me, you could try natural birth. And I think there has been in between like a change of the management. Yeah. And it turned out that I was in the 25th week where he told me, no, you cannot. You cannot.
Wow, okay. That's
and I was like,
sudden
we
change.
were with my husband like, what? I mean, and what should we do now? I really wanted to.
Natural?
Yeah. My brother was born with a C-section. I was born naturally in the 70s, at the end of the 70s. I thought like maybe this is also the way it will happen with us. And anyway, and then I decided, okay, I'm not going to have a problem with that. And then it turned out that anyway, Emma was Handfekvés.
Okay, so like the horizontally?
Yeah, she was
like with head down?
Yeah. So they told me like it would be a problem anyway. And then she flipped, but then her head was up.
With feet first. Okay.
With feet first. So at the end with her, I just went in on a Monday morning with my bag, sitting there waiting for the C-section.
So it was a scheduled
C-section. It was a scheduled C-section, so it was easy. But with the first, with Marty, with my son, I was happy that he decided to come out. I mean, at least the birth started naturally, and I had like 10 hours working on it, and at the end it was C-section. It was not a problem really.
So you were okay with going through pain for 10 hours?
Yeah.
Why?
I was happy because I had the feeling at least I experienced some part of it.
Okay.
Right?
So you
I wanted to experience all of it, but it didn't turn out that way. But I was really happy that at least something
closer to that.
Yeah. But the C-section, it was okay. I remember just like I was I'm not scared. I didn't know what to expect, or at least I knew what to expect, because you don't feel anything, but you feel at the same time.
What did you feel?
I mean, you don't really feel pain or anything, but you feel
something happening.
Them like moving you, and then strange sounds, and you feel the movements, but you don't feel pain, and it's quite strange.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and there was a point where, with both of the C-sections, where you start shaking very much. Already around the end of the surgery.
Shaking physically?
Physically, like
wow.
Very much. And I know because some friends who had surgery also told me, like, don't be afraid of that.
Why does it happen?
It happened. I don't, probably the injection.
Anesthesia?
Anesthesia.
Kind of wearing off or something?
That you get, it produces that, I don't know. But with both of the kids, you start shaking so much that then after that, I don't know, I felt like my jaw is hurting
because
my teeth of shaking so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you guys, did they offer skin-to-skin touch after?
Not in this hospital. It was skin-to-skin touch with my husband.
Oh,
they.
Mm-hmm. But why not you? Because they had to.
Well, they show it to you, the baby, and then they measure it, whatever. They clean the baby, and then they bring it close. But they didn't put the babies on.
Both times?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they take it out on the room next door, and they give it to the father.
Okay.
And he could have skin-to-skin
touch
with the baby. Because with the C-section you cannot move, right? For like 6 hours. Mm-hmm. You cannot even sit up or anything, because if you do that, if you move your head, then the next day, or you can get a very, very bad headache for like days. At least with the anesthesia that they use here, or in this hospital, or usually in the hospitals around here.
Okay.
And with Marty, with my firstborn, I didn't have problem with that. With Emma, I had like 2 days awful headache. So the next day I could wake up, I could walk a bit, but that hurts a lot. I mean the
stitches?
The stitches. It hurts like hell. It's very bad. But probably because of the hormones, right? You are so crazy. You are, where is my baby? And you feel like you can do anything.
Yeah.
And so during the day, the baby was with me.
Were you able to take painkillers?
Usually, I mean, at the beginning, it was still inside me, the painkillers. They were active. And at the second night, I asked for some painkillers because I was, it was hurting so much. But you know, with C-section, after C-section, the first day, it's awful. It's very, very hard.
Because of pain?
Of the pain, yeah. And the second day it gets way much better. The third day it's already much better, but still, you know, I was in a room with 3 other girls or women, and all of them had normal birth, and they were like very active, running here, very active, and I was like, I couldn't even move. But everybody told me, you have to move, you have to sit up, you have to walk. So, but it's tough. I mean, it hurts a lot. Yeah. But you have your baby, which is so good. But then I think the milk, I have no idea. I mean, they send me home after 3 days.
The baby was not feeding within these 3 days?
I was trying to breastfeed him at all times when I thought of it, and they were like measuring him, and they said like, it's okay, probably I will have enough milk.
But there was milk those first 3 days. At least something was there.
Something, yeah. But you know, I mean, with me, I could never pump milk, never. Even when months later, Marci, I was breastfeeding him until he was like 2 years and a couple of months. Of course, he was already eating everything else as well. But so I had milk, but I could never ever pump. Yeah. Never. So that's why I didn't. Those first days, I had no idea if there was anything coming up. I mean, I could see like a.
Yeah, that's enough usually. Yeah, it's for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
So breastfeed. So the latching, breastfeeding seems like was okay.
It was okay. It was.
Yeah.
I think it was okay. It was just when we got home with Marci, midwife, I don't know how do you call her, came and told me that he's losing weight, and it will be not good. Maybe I should give him formula. And I don't know why I had this idea, if I give him formula,
he will not want the breast milk
or whatever. I didn't want to give him that.
What did you do?
I called a lactation consultant. She came and she was here for a couple of hours. She was very nice, explaining me all like how to put the baby here, there, which positions work good, and after that we kept in touch for 2-3 months. I could email her anytime, and it was very good. Because at that point when he was losing weight, I was went in panic. Okay. And that's why I called her, and she in 3 hours she put me in the right direction.
Yeah, mindset. And then he started gaining weight again.
Yes, and he got like very chubby at the end. So
so what do you think was causing the weight loss?
I was not holding him properly, and anyway with him he had a bit of stiffness here in his neck, so in one of my breasts he could not eat properly. So I had to, but because of the consultant showed me different types of
latching.
Yeah, so it was
positions.
Positions. It was better. That's why he was
maybe he
wasn't getting enough milk.
Because of the positions, because of the stiffness. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't physically able to pull it out. Did you have any, I don't know, kind of postpartum depression or anything like that?
When I didn't have problems with Marci, I was the most happy person ever, even during the pregnancy. But with Emma, I had, I think, sort of depression on the first 5 months of
pregnancy.
No.
Oh, pregnancy. Okay.
Pregnancy, because she came into our life after the baby that was ill.
Yeah.
So, and then I thought like, probably I was afraid of maybe losing her as well. I remember.
Did you do the test as well?
And we did the test even earlier, because with the other baby we did it like it turned out on the 12th week, and with her we already had the good results on the 10th week.
Okay.
And still I remember when we got the results, and I was watching the results, and everything was fine, and we could even read that she's a girl, and I was not feeling anything. My husband, he was very, very, very happy that everything is fine and it's a girl, and we will have a boy and a girl, and everything will be so perfect. And I was like,
you were skeptical. You couldn't.
I don't know. I just, probably I shut down at that time,
because it was too much overwhelming.
Yeah. And I remember those first 4 months crying so much, and I just couldn't help it. So I went to see therapists, because comparing to what I felt during the pregnancies with my son, with him I was so happy and everything was just shiny, and I was having a connection with him. And with the girl, I just couldn't feel anything at the beginning of the pregnancy. So I went to see someone. I went for like 4 sessions with this therapist, and it was very good.
So it helped.
It helped a lot. And after that, and the funny thing is, I was so sad with her at the beginning, and she is the happiest person ever. She's very fun, and she's always happy, always smiling.
Positive, yeah. She's really sweet.
Yeah, she is.
So after birth, did you have help? Or were you on your own?
Yeah, we didn't get much help because we don't have grandmas, unfortunately. My father-in-law with my son, he kept coming twice a week or 3 times a week, bringing us food. He's a very good cook. For the first 2 months, maybe. With Emma, for the first month, he kept coming with food, which was very good help. Very helpful, because my husband was working, and
he didn't take time off from work after work?
Just a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
In Hungary, at that time, you could take 5 days off. 5 days paternal leave or something like that. I think now it's already maybe 10 days, or I don't know. No. So
you were on your own, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
How did you manage?
Well, with Marty, with my son, just the first couple of weeks or 1 month, some very good friends of my mom, she was here, which was like blessing, really. I had some company in this way. 2 other friends of mine gave birth 1 or 2 weeks away. So if I wrote on the messenger at around 2 at night, probably someone would answer.
Yeah.
Because she was in the same position, like breastfeeding or anything. So I think that helped a lot.
Yes,
like I had these 2 other. Mm-hmm. And there was a 3rd one, and we all know each other, so we had like a group.
Mm-hmm.
Chatting,
kind of like supporting each other.
Yeah.
It's very
like,
important.
Did you experience this? Oh God, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, very important.
When I had to let that ill baby go, right, and I had to have the surgery, and women struggling to get pregnant, and I felt like, God, I'm so lucky, because I have completely healthy kid, and but it's still it's hard, and it's I think of it quite a lot.
You do?
Oh well, sometimes, you know, it comes to mind. But as I have Emma as well, and she is completely healthy as well, and I mean everything is good. I just think that you have to be able to get advice or help, like what I felt with the pregnancy of Emma, that I needed to go to therapy and to talk about it. And it was a quite interesting therapy. It was not normal analytic type. It was a half analytic, half haptotherapy, or how you say that. It's they do it mostly with pregnant people. It's like a French doctor, psychotherapist.
Okay, yeah, I've never heard, but yeah.
It's just before, at the beginning, for 40 minutes they talk to you, about your feelings, and after that you lie down on the floor, and the therapist just put her hand here.
Maybe spiritual?
Not spiritual, no, not really. It's just the feeling, you know, like feeling like that she holds you, you know. It's completely different thing, or at least I've been in therapy when I lost my mother when I was 17. But I never had this type of relationship. But then this therapy helped me a lot, because it got me out so much frustration. And this method that she keeps her hand. I mean, it's stupid.
We can look it up later, and
it's strange, but it's just that someone placing her hand on your body while you are saying out things, it's more liberating, or I don't know, you know, because after a session you don't get up and you don't go and hug your therapist. But it would be good to do so, because I'm that type of person. If I have a fight with my husband, after that I have to get a hug. If I don't get it, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
so
I think
it was very good.
And normal.
So I think this is the thing that I could tell anyone if they have like miscarriages or anything, to search for help, because mentally you can get very,
like, in your thoughts
into a very bad spiral, right?
Yeah.
And it's difficult to get out, and you have to talk with your partner a lot about it, about the struggle. Or
how did he manage?
We talked about it, and yeah, he was very, very sad as well when this happened. We tried to talk about it, and we were always saying, okay, but there is Marty. Marty, he's completely healthy, he's very good, he's bright, he's okay. And probably, and anyway, we went to see a doctor just to be sure if this wouldn't repeat itself. But the Patau syndrome, as I know, or at least they told us, it's not a genetic kind. I mean, it is. It's like a genetic trisomia. It's like Down syndrome, but it's way worse. I mean, it's a very,
serious condition.
Serious condition. Maybe you could give birth to a baby with this condition, but it could live only 2 months maximum. So it's a very bad thing. But it happens to one person in every 20,000. So and it's it's just
like
you get it on the dice from above, like. So yeah, we talked about it quite a lot. But really, probably if it would have been our first experience, I don't know if now we would be sitting here with 2 kids, because probably it would have been way much more difficult.
So now looking back, what would you advise yourself?
Maybe to start earlier.
Why?
I don't know. But I know that I had to meet my partner, right, to be able to have this family right now. It's just I feel like maybe if you give birth in your 20s, but I was too young in my 20s. I'm still young now, but I don't know. Maybe physically, right?
Yeah, physically would be much
easier or better, but I don't know. And get help. I always tell my friends who are giving birth now, like the most important thing is to get help during the first weeks, first months, and also not to close yourself at home alone, because you can get crazy, or at least I think it's good to be around people.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Agree.
Because I can feel that some mothers can get really into to turn inside.
Yeah.
Staying home, I think it's crazy, because if you think like the generation of my grandma, they used to live all together, right?
In
communities, kids, grandkids, whatever. So there was help.
Yeah.
For example, here we did not have much. And always ask. So that's what I told you. It was very good for me. If I had a question at 5 o'clock in the morning, I could write my friends and they would write me back, because they were in the same situation.
Yeah.
And even if no one knew the answer, at least we could talk to each other.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not alone in this situation.
Yeah, of course.
Because there are lots of scary moments.
Yeah, in the beginning.
But still, it's cool. It's nice. I love my kids.
Yeah.